Welcome to episode 23 of Pause for Peace. My name is Jule. I pastor Hillwood Presbyterian Church, USA, that gathers on the west side of Nashville, Tennessee. And on the day this podcast is being released, May 5th, 2024, Hillwood is gathering with our friends from Blair School of Music, the musicians that have been among us throughout these past several months, who will be graduating in the week that lies ahead. These are beautiful young folks, people who have incredible skill. You can check them out on our YouTube channel. And they have shared their gifts with us all throughout our worship experience, our music missions in this past year. And we are so grateful for the presence that they have been among us, for the musical talents that they have brought to us, and for the time that stretches out ahead in their lives. It is so exciting to be able to celebrate them and all that they have been, all that they have given, and all of our hopes and dreams for them in this time when they launch out into the world. Some with bachelor's degrees who will be going on for graduate studies, and some who have actually obtained a graduate degree in music education. And we're so excited for all of them. We have other folks among us who are graduating from college and are going to be setting forth on their adventures. And we even have a couple of folks among us who are becoming doctors, people who are receiving their advanced degrees in their field, PhDs, EEDs, wonderful journeys that they have had, excruciating days and nights that they have spent in order to come to these weeks of being able to celebrate their accomplishments. I myself am in this family season when we are gathering together to celebrate my niece, who is graduating from college and has become just an amazing, amazing woman with so many developed talents, and just so excited for her and all that lies ahead. And so I'm able to be with my family in this time and able to celebrate her. And it has me thinking a lot about, and even getting a little bit weepy now and again, and thinking about the ways that we celebrate one individual on graduation, but the ways that these are not individual achievements. The journey, whether it's been from birth through college or whether it's been from birth through a graduate school program, the journey is one that is taken with so many around, so many supporting, so many encouraging, so many making each individual who they become, the gifts that are freely given, the sacrifices that are made, the roads that are opened up by those who have gone before in order for each individual to be able to stand and receive their degrees, to receive their accolades, and to celebrate their accomplishments. None of it has been done all alone. And so in this season, when many graduations are beginning, especially in the college, university level, but soon in the high school level as well, it's a beautiful time to pause and to spend a little time reflecting upon who is around us. Whether you are a graduate or not, who is around you that ensures that you are able to be who you are each day, that you are able to enjoy the life that you have each day. And if you are a graduate, who are those around you and those who have come before you to make you who you are, so that you can receive this great honor, the distinguished gifts of a degree and the celebrations of all of us. So for this Pause for Peace, I want us to spend a little time taking stock. Again, it doesn't matter if you're a graduate or not, Every one of us is surrounded. In the biblical language, we use the language of being surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And it's recorded in the Christian Testament that a great cloud of witnesses surrounds, and it is as if they are cheering us on in our journey of faith, in the contributions we make in this world for the sake of love. So I want us today to just take stock. Now, you can do this with pen and paper. You can do this with a device. You might even need to pull out your device and review photos. Maybe you're somebody who's taken photographs of events that have taken place in your life, or just things that you're up to each day. Maybe you need to scroll through your Instagram once again and see who has been surrounding you, who has been encouraging you. So I invite you to get yourself quiet for just a few minutes. And if you have a pen and paper, great. If you have a device, great. If you're scrolling through your device to see faces of those who have been a part of your life, that's wonderful. But whatever you're doing, let's just start with a little bit of quiet, making sure your feet are flat on the ground, taking a few deep breaths, releasing them. Take another deep cleansing breath and releasing it. Maybe just one more. And when you take this deep cleansing breath, even be paying attention to the beings that are around us in this world that allow us to be able to even breathe in oxygen. And those who are careful about the way that they live so that our oxygen can be pure and that we can be able to live in a sustainable environment. So let's take another deep breath. Hold it and release. So settling in right now, it'd be helpful if you could bring awareness to your heart space. You can do so by placing your hands on your heart if you need to, right there in the center of your chest. This is the energy of your heart space in the center of your chest. And I've been hearing that phrase, start close in. And so let's just start close in. Let's start with who is responsible for the clothes that you are wearing on your body, and having a sense of gratitude for those who have stitched the garments that you wear. You may not know these folks. You may not even know where your clothes comes from, but somebody has been giving of their blood and their life sweat in order for every one of us to be able to wear clothes and accessories and have things like glasses or hearing aids if we need them, whatever it might be. Let's just be giving thanks for those unknown folks. Or maybe you know the people who have made and stitched your garments. Maybe you've stitched your garments yourself. So let's give thanks for those as we start close in. The human beings on this planet. We're giving gratitude for the human beings on this planet that allow us to have the life that we have, to be who we are in the world each day. And as the circle moves out a little bit wider, think about the structure in which you find yourself right now. The home you might be in, the apartment you might be in, the car you might be in. Whose hands have been responsible for the place in which you find yourself right now? Maybe it's even an airplane. Whose hands have gone into building that vehicle for you to be able to be experiencing what you are experiencing right this moment? Again, we may not know these folks. We may never see these faces, but we can give great thanks for their skill, for their labor, for their passion, for doing their trade so that others are able to have homes and are able to have vehicles to move about this earth and are able to be in this world in shelter and in safety. So let's bring to mind those with whom we share our home, and let's give gratitude for those who are in our home with us, whether they be little doggies like my own little doggie, or maybe you have a kitty cat that's a part of your life, or maybe you have a partner with whom you live who's able to support and encourage you each day. Maybe you have a whole household of folks, your family of friends living with you, whoever it is. Let's call upon their faces in these moments, see them in your heart, and allow yourself to feel gratitude. Even if it's difficult now and again to live with other beings, let's give gratitude for those who are in our lives, who are sharing our homes, who are aiding us in being who we are each day. Each one of us once lived in the home of a womb, and so let us give thanks for the womb, the mother that held us as we literally formed and developed into who we are and came out into this world. Let us give thanks for the mother that birthed us into this world. Let us give thanks for the father, the man who was also a part of that process. No matter our relationship with those who gave us biological life, nonetheless, we are grateful. Without their act, without their contribution to bringing us into this world, we would literally not be here. We give thanks for them. And while we're on that connection with our parents, let us also give thanks for the siblings that have been a part of our lives, our biological siblings, our step siblings, our foster siblings, our adopted siblings, whatever we might have in our lives. Let us give thanks for the siblings that have been a part of our lives and still are a part of many of our lives. Some of us might even want to be praying in these moments that wounds of our upbringing and wounds in our relationships with our siblings might be healed, wounds that we might be carrying in our relationships with our parents might be healed, that forgiveness might just flow over from our hearts of gratitude. And I hope we each can land upon an event with every one of our siblings, if we have siblings. We might just land on an event in our memory that reminds us of laughter and joy and exploration and supporting one another in reaching our achievements and in becoming these beings who are committed to peace and love in this world. Let's just carry on down this path of our ancestors. And if you know your grandparents, if you know your great-grandparents, or whether you don't know your great-greats and great-great-greats grandparents, your ancestral line, the biological lineage that brought you into this world, then I invite you to consider finding out more about them in the weeks that lie ahead. But right now, whether you know these folks or not, let's give thanks for them. We can call upon our ancestral lineage, our biological ancestral lineage. We can call upon all of those who are healed and loving and supportive in our ancestral lineage and invite them to continue on supporting and encouraging us and lifting us up for our road that lies ahead. We can thank them for the sacrifices that they made. Many of us have ancestral lineages, biological ancestral lineages that have sacrificed much for us to be able to be. Many of us have ancestral lineages at one point or another if you are in the United States of America, and if you are not somebody who is indigenous to the United States of America, then you had a lineage that made the sacrifice of coming to this country at one point in time. And those were incredibly difficult voyages to make. And those were incredibly brave choices to make, so that those who would come forth in their family line would have an opportunity to grow into people who were able to live free, people who were able to have autonomy and sovereignty over self. And so we can give great thanks for those sacrifices and those actions that our ancestral lineage, our biological ancestral lineage made for us to be able to be standing in these moments in which we stand right now. And if you are somebody who is a part of a biological ancestry that is indigenous to these lands, then I invite you to thank them for their perseverance, to ask them to show you how you are able to live in a way that honors all that they have been through, in a way that seeks justice for all of the wounds that continue to happen in our society because of all that they have been through at the hands of other human beings. And I invite us all to ask every one of our biological ancestors to be healed, to be free from the pains that we have caused one another, that we will be able to live in a new way as we move forward into a new way of being, honest about what we have done, what some have done to others, and honest about the forgiveness that is needed, the reparations that are needed in order for us all to be able to flourish in these lands. We can even be making our prayer to God to restore us. Oh God, restore us. Restore us to being this beautiful web of humankind that you have made us to be, interdependent, collaborating, cooperating with one another, and living in true communion with the entire creation. As we move beyond our family line, we know that there are just thousands, millions of people who are a part of making our life possible. And so we can give gratitude to decision makers in our communities, to representatives in our communities, to leaders in our cities, to those who work the land that we all might be able to eat, to those who work in stores that we might be able to buy what we need and what we want for living, to those who keep us safe by the ways that they pick up trash all the time and the ways that they police our neighborhoods and the ways that they are ready to be called in an instant to emergencies that might involve any one of us. And so we can give thanks for all of those who are a part of making our community possible. Even those who do things that might annoy us sometimes because we want to be where we want to be, but those who are building our roads and tending our sewer systems and making sure that water is delivered to our homes and making sure electricity is in most every home and making sure that so many of us have things like internet and the World Wide Web access. We can give thanks to all of those who are a part of keeping the infrastructure of our communities, our state, our nation, our world flowing, working in the ways that we need them to, that we might enjoy our lives each and every day, that we might even be able to do our jobs each and every day. We can be thanking those who are serving, taking care of our children, or taking care of our siblings who might yet be in school. We can give thanks for teachers and all that they have passed on to us. And even if we're not a graduate right now, there still have been teachers that have been a part of our life to make us who we are today, and we can give great thanks for them. If you'll just think about the other people that you have seen just in this past week, maybe it's a mental health professional. Maybe it's a medical health professional. Maybe it's somebody who just cuts your hair or helps tend your body in some way. Just give thanks for their gifts and their abilities. Maybe it's your yoga instructor for whom you are so incredibly grateful. Or the person who ensures that the gym that you like to work out in is ready and open so you can be there and cleaning up after you afterwards as well. We have colleagues, and we have bosses, and we have coworkers, and we can give thanks for all the contributions that each one of them make so that we are able to flourish using our gifts and abilities each day. Perhaps you have clients. Perhaps you have consumers, depending on what your work is. Perhaps you have donors and funders. We give thanks for all of them. Those who participate in your work, receiving the benefits of your gifts. There's this intricate web of people that are a part of making us who we are. And stopping every now and again to take stock reminds us that none of us do anything in this world on our own. And none of us truly are alone in this world. We are so interdependent. And the next time we might be feeling stressed or fearful or lonely, perhaps we can just start taking stock once again and allowing ourselves to return to gratitude and to seeing this web, this worldwide web that is the worldwide web of human beings that are a part of our lives, even those who have gone before us, that still are cheering us on, surrounding us with great love and great encouragement and great support. So let's take one more moment and flitter through anybody else you think you might have missed. Perhaps you have failed to name in your line as you've been taking stock your friends who are the most important folks in your lives. Those who truly get you and those who are there for you when the going gets tough. Those who are ready to pick you up. Those who are ready to wrap you in arms of love. And those who are ready to weep with you when it's time to weep and to laugh with you when it's time to celebrate and rejoice. So we give great thanks for our friends. And we give great thanks too for those who challenge us the most, for those who rub up against us in the ways that just anger us or frustrate us or sadden us, because there are lessons to learn in each one of those encounters. And in the First Testament of the scripture, it talks about this like rubbing up against. It's almost like iron sharpening flint. It's just like, how are we being refined by these relationships that are not always easy, these relationships that might be a great struggle for us, but how are those interactions that rub up against who we are, like shaping us into a beautiful diamond that we are to be, the bright light that we can be in this world. And we can give thanks for each one of those relationships too. And we can ask for God's assistance through every one of those challenges. I think the quote actually is iron sharpens iron, something like that. We understand those folks that just rub us the wrong way, that really call us to be clear of who we are and what we value and why it matters to us. And now for just one moment, I want you to place your hands back on your heart center, both palms in the center of your chest. And I want you to put your shoulders back, stand up a little bit taller, and know that there are so many who got your back. So many who have been a part of bringing you into being who you are right now. And I want to invite us all to just say a word of gratitude to God for who we are and who we have become, and the mystery of the journey that lies ahead for every one of us. None of us know what will come tomorrow, and our graduates might be feeling extreme pressure around that. And the reality is, you're just in a thin place right now where you are a little bit closer to the truth that none of us know what will happen tomorrow. None of us can control what will happen tomorrow. All we can do is wake up, show up, and carry on through whatever comes, trusting that there's a whole cloud of witnesses behind us, all around us, and there is a God that loves us deeply and has made woven this web of life all around us, that we will continue to be able to be who God needs and wants us to be. So give great thanks for yourself in these moments. Give great thanks for your journey, all that you've already been through. And may we awaken gratitude in our hearts. May we awaken a sense of possibility for the road that lies ahead. May we awaken resolve to meet it, ready to go, with joy and zest and energy and imagination and love. And when we are ready, we can return our awareness to our feet and know that all that we have to do is take one step after the other. Trusting that the way will unfold for us as way always has unfolded. God has always been the way maker. God will always continue to be the way maker. And so if we can deepen into our trust that God will make the way for us, and all we have to do is take that next step. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I ask us all to give great thanks and celebration and join our hearts and minds and our bodies in celebrating all of those who are graduating among us, those you may not even know, and all of those families that are coming together, the friends that are coming together, to just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and to celebrate the great accomplishments, and to encourage those who are still on the journey, those who may have had great difficulty in these past years, perhaps not able yet to graduate for whatever reason. So we also remember them in our prayers and pray for days of ease to come. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Pause for Peace. And congratulations, every one of you out there who is graduating. We are so proud of you, so excited for you, and so grateful we've been able to be a part of your journey. Blessings, and I'll see you next week.